Okay, so let me introduce myself first and then we'll go into the demo session. So as Praveen said, I've been working on Salesforce for a lot of years. I've been in the IT industry for more than 15 years. Out of that, almost 10 years of it has been in Salesforce. I have managed implementation of Salesforce for various financial institutions and even institutions in other sectors. And apart from that, I'm now working as an implementation consultant for a fintech, which is based on Salesforce platform. Then moving on to what we actually want to cover in this demo class is this is what I'm trying to do is basically give you an introduction of what Salesforce is, introduce it to you, the small basic concepts of Salesforce and cloud. We'll talk about certifications. We'll talk about Salesforce in general, how it's set up, and what are the main terminologies we use. And finally, I'll just show you a little bit of Salesforce. And again, please remember this is a demo class, and we won't be going in much of a detail. And also, actually, this is probably going to be uh, mostly me talking and showing, but in the rest of the classes, there'll be a lot of work that you'll also be doing. We'll be enabling a lot of hands-on sessions and even giving you kind of like homeworks where you go in to the orgs and try out various things on yourself. That's one of the advantages with Salesforce. Okay. Okay. Now let me start with Salesforce. So a lot of you, almost you would have heard Salesforce by now, right? I mean, everybody's been talking about it. It's one of the main applications out there in the IT industry. And so, what is basically Salesforce? Salesforce is CRM, a customer relationship management tool. Okay. So, what is CRM? CRM is an application where you track your interactions with the customer or a prospect, and it's basically used by almost all of the big companies and medium-sized companies. And this is more prevalent in the Western markets because their growth rate is much lesser than, let's say, India or China, and they are competing for the same customer. A lot of companies are competing for the same customer, so they want to track on their interactions with customer, try to utilize it and sell them better, service them better, so they can retain the customers. So it's one of the big concept that's come out, I would say, after 2000 or 2000. This one first started with ERPs such as SAP CRM, Oracle CRM, and then it moved, and then now Salesforce is the number one. They have been capturing the market from all these legacy systems. It was so Salesforce was founded by Mark Benioff in March 1999. It's now worth over $100 billion and is the number one CRM solution in the market. Mark Benioff was one of executives from Oracle, and he moved off. Moved out of Oracle, set up Salesforce. And when Salesforce was first set up, it was one of the pioneering companies which offered itself as a SaaS. And SaaS is known as software as a service. And I'll cover all this in detail in coming slides. But it's one of the first companies to do that and say, okay, we're going to put everything on cloud and you guys are going to access it through a browser. And but first, a lot of people were apprehensive. They didn't want to do it. I mean, who wants to store the company data on the cloud, right? But now you see they have more than 100,000 customers worldwide, more than 2 million users. It's available in 18 languages. It's one of the most innovative companies, and they also have an app exchange, and I'm going to show all this like app exchange and all those things for you people. And they also have a lot of conferences everywhere throughout the world. They have a very solid and active Salesforce community here in Toronto. They have it in a lot of big cities in US, India, anywhere in the world. So if you are interested in continuing in Salesforce, I would recommend you to go join this. I will probably show it in the coming classes on how to do it too, and it's very helpful. Okay. So the next slide that I'm showing you right now is why learn Salesforce.com, right? So one of the main things why sales, as I said before, it's this company has been like if you had bought their stock in 2005, it was $5 a share. Now I think it's 100 something like that. Okay, so this is one of the biggest companies out there which has been growing in the market in the IT sector, and the jobs out there. There are a lot of jobs for Salesforce. Trust me, people really want quality Salesforce professionals in the market. So it's estimated that there are going to be 3.3 million jobs created by 2022. And previously they thought it's just going to be 1.9 million jobs in 2020, but now seeing the growth, um, it's estimated that's going to be 3.3 million jobs. Okay. And you can see how they're revising the target. Salesforce has been able to beat their the Wall Street estimates either in terms of volume, revenue, or anything out there. They're always able to beat it. And one of the things why it is because people are now more accepting to cloud, and they're actually seeing the advantage of cloud. And Salesforce being a pioneer in that, everybody is now going towards Salesforce. And you all have heard of Indeed. It's a job board. And according to them, two of the top 10 jobs were Salesforce administrator and Salesforce developer. So I would say one in top 5 jobs is related to Salesforce. And in this course, we are going to talk about Salesforce administrator. Another thing about advantage of Salesforce is there is a lot of training materials out there. So what our program is going to cover today, I'm going to cover in the next slides. But if you want to learn more, or if let us say you started working as a Salesforce administrator, you're stuck somewhere, there's no need to panic at all. People share knowledge in Salesforce. That's one of the biggest advantages of Salesforce is, and they've always built this culture. Salesforce as a company has always been pushing towards sharing of knowledge. So if you're stuck somewhere, there are so many forums out there, so many communities that always will help you out. And trust me, like I say, I've been working in Salesforce for so long. If I thought of a question, 99% of time there's an answer out there. Somebody would have asked before me. And that's the biggest advantage of Salesforce. Because once you go in there, you're new, you always have that fear where I'm doing it right or wrong. You can always look back and Google and you'll always get the answers. Another thing for Salesforce is if you don't want to be an administrator or if you don't want to be a developer, there are other options too. You can be a business analyst handling Salesforce. You can be an implementation consultant, like how I am right now. Implementation consultant, I would say somewhere between the administrator and developer with a little bit more knowledge, but you can still do it. If if you have some background in computers, but you don't want, you're not good enough for developer, but you're much better than administrator, I would say implementation consultant is the way to go. Then there is data integration specialist. If you have background in data management, then I would say we can work on data integration because Salesforce as an application keeps talking to various other systems in the organization. Okay. One of the main things with this course is you don't need programming skills. Okay. I said again, let me repeat, you don't need programming skills to be a Salesforce administrator or a business analyst. But you need to know basics of computer science. You need to understand what a database is, what an entity is, what an entity relationship is, functionalities like if you're using syntaxes like select, where, others. You're not going to do programming, trust me, but you need to know all this before, like concepts of and, or, not logics. So you need to understand all this. Why I'm saying is because you're not going to program anything. Everything is like a click. The functionalities are out there. You're going to click and stitch things together. But you need to understand all these things. You have to have concepts of it. And if not, don't worry. I would say you're going to pick it up as we go through this. And I'm going to, I said before, give you work that you can go after this class and do it at your own pace. And there's a lot of learning materials I can help you provide. I mean, you'll have to put effort to learn all this apart from Salesforce, but there's a lot of good reading materials and a lot of, I would say, sort of hands-on experience that Salesforce provides. So don't worry. Just be ready to put so much effort. That's it. And again, I want to iterate one main thing is, this class or this course, is to provide you the framework to understand the basics of Salesforce. But you as a person have to spend time to understand. So when I mean that, it's, you have to read on your own. You have to do your homework. I'm going to help you with that. But also, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Ask questions. If it's very helpful, and that's the main advantage of having a live person talking to you, right? Is that you can ask questions and you'll get the answer right there. Any kind of questions, don't worry. You can even ask what is a database. There's nothing wrong in that. Just ask, and I'm very, very happy to answer all of this. And you'll also get hands-on training. I'll show you in the next set of classes how to get hands-on training on a Salesforce environment. So it's not just PowerPoints and me giving you notes and you going and biting. No, this is going to be hands-on. So that's the main thing. And apart from all this, this course also, for example, if your organization is planning to move into Salesforce, or they just recently got implemented Salesforce, I think this is also a very good course for people like that. They can understand basics of Salesforce. And it'll help you in the organization, especially if it's newly implemented and you get to know all this. It'll help you stand out. Okay, going on. So cloud, we can't go into Salesforce without talking about cloud. And if you're in the IT right now, everybody's talking about cloud, right? Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Workday, everything is like, oh, cloud, cloud, cloud. Use your iPhone, store your photos on cloud. So cloud is the new it word in the IT world right now. But what is cloud? Cloud is basically, as I mentioned here, is on-demand delivery of compute power, database storage, applications, and other IT resource through a cloud service platform via internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. This is defined by Amazon. But end of the day, if I have to tell you in plain terms and non-technical terms, is basically have servers. There are companies like Amazon and Microsoft. They will provide everything to you based on what you need. It can be infrastructure, like just one machine. They can provide you like a platform, like they can provide you like Visual Basic on a cloud. You go in and you develop things you want, or you provide software as a service like Salesforce or Word 365. That's a new thing, right? You just use your browser. You can use your Word or Excel, anything. So these are things that basically is browser based. They're doing all the backend things, and you are using everything through internet and through a browser. That's basically what cloud is. So what are the major benefits of cloud? Why it's becoming a big thing? One of the main things is internet. We should not forget it's internet now is so much faster than what we remember. I don't know how old people are on the line, but for me, dial-up was where it started. I still remember where we were trying to download a movie. It used to take days. Now you can see on Netflix live, instant. So that's the speed that internet has been. And if you know how iPhone launched first at 2G, it was so slow. Then 3G came. Now we have 4G. We are getting 5G, which is going to be much faster than your LAN internet. So that's the speed that internet is moving forward. And because of that, people are being able to access large amounts of data and applications just through their browser. They don't need big machines now. They just need a browser, and it's hosted somewhere else, and they just log in through browser and they use it. That's one of the main things. Another thing is you don't need heavy investments. They use pay-as-you-go model. So for example, if you want, let's say you want a laptop, but want to buy a laptop, but you don't have the money to buy a laptop. If somebody is offering you, okay, you just use your phone, log in through the browser, and you have everything you want. Like you have your Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all the applications you need, but you're just going to pay $10 per month. That's much better than you paying $1,000 right out front, because you don't know how long you're going to use it. You don't know which machine you need, whether you want a powerful gaming machine or just a playing machine, or you want something very heavy for development. Depending on what you want, you just pay and then use it. And if you want it just for 1 month, use it, pay the money, and then get out. It's like a subscription service, like your Amazon Prime out there. Use it as much as you want, and then the day you decide, okay, we're done, um, you can cancel your subscription. That's the advantage of cloud. Then economies of scale. So economies of scale is, for example, it doesn't matter for you if you're 10 people using it, 100 people using it, 1,000 people, 10,000 people. You just keep buying licenses for them. You don't need to upgrade the database. You don't need to upgrade your servers. You don't need to put more PCs, anything like that. You just pay for that, and then it's done. It's just scaled automatically for you. It's just licensing. There's nothing you have to do. So for example, let's say if you have to invest and get 10 desktops and your company expands to 100, you have to put that investment upfront, right? You have to go and buy. There's a lot of cost involved, then you have to set it up and all those things. But if you're using a browser based system, you just give them keyboard and the small this one, and then you're set. They use everything, applications to browser. That's about it. And there's no need to maintain data centers. So data centers used to be these huge, like I would say, warehouses as big as football fields, or even bigger than that, where they used to maintain servers and all those things. And a lot of companies in the which keep hiring, they are not IT-based companies. They're not Facebook, Amazon. They are like TD Bank. They are like RBI Bank, and all these people where the IT is support for them. They are not the ways for them to earn money. They are ways for them to support their ongoing business. So for them, it's a lot of headache, right, to maintain all these spaces and then hire people, hire network engineers, hire database engineers to maintain all this. Instead of that, they're like, okay, you know what, we're going to pay money to Amazon, we're going to pay money to Microsoft. You guys take care of everything, and we'll just pay you a little bit more. But I mean, it's a monthly cost too. It's not upfront. So for them, it's much more better. And deploy in a click. So one of the main things that cloud has is like, so I'm assuming you all know a little bit of SDLC. So for example, if you're moving from a QA environment, from a development environment to a QA environment, then to UAT, and then to production, in a regular system, it's a lot of work. You have people working in the back end, migrating the code, migrating data, migrating all these data integrations, APIs, everything from one place to another. It's a big work. A lot of times, whole weekends go over that. But now it's just, you can just click on a button which says migrate to this other environment, and it's done. So that's how easy it is, depending on the application, of course. But most of them, that's the major advantage. You just click, from development to production, everything is gone. You just know everything. You don't have to worry. So imagine, think how much a company saves, right? You have an army of people who are working the weekends to make it work. With still there'll be issues, and here you have just deployed the click with one person. How much money is just going to save them? Okay, then I want to talk about three main types of cloud platforming, which is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay. So before, as you can see here, on premises, I said before, companies used to have their applications, they have the data, they have all the servers, storage, networking, everything they used to take care of. So here comes cloud, okay, and they are like, we'll offer you infrastructure as service. So basically, what it is they're going to take care of the servers, they're going to take care of your networks, your storage, and all those things. And the company is going to take care of the applications, data, all those things. So it's basically like, we're going to give you the servers that you want, and we're going to do the maintenance. You come in, you build whatever you want on that, and you start using it. What is the big advantage for companies? Basically, they don't have to pay network administrators, right? They don't have to pay for the servers upfront. They don't have to pay for the networking, and they don't have to pay for storage. It's a monthly cost, and depending on how it goes, they're going to use that infrastructure. If it works well, then it's fine. Otherwise, they can move on. So that's the basic thing. Okay. So if I have to say, for example, restaurant, right? In on premises is basically like you cooking at home. Uh, you have to bring everything in. You have to buy all the ingredients. You have to pay for the electricity or gas. You have to pay for utensils. You maintain everything. Infrastructure is services like where you're getting a kitchen, you're getting the ingredients, and then you're cooking and going. So what is the advantage here is like you might not use the kitchen every time. You're just using it for some purpose. Let's say you have an existing kitchen at home, but you're going into cooking for a party where you need much bigger kitchen with a lot more ranges and all those things. So you can go in, hire that kitchen for 3 hours. You're done. You can go out. So that's what infrastructure as service is. Then comes platform as a service. It's a little bit, they provide even more layers in there. So apart from all the servers and everything, they're also going to run all the middlewares. So basically, it's all where the applications are talking to each other, and all the runtimes and all those things out there. They are going to take care of it. Think like this. Using the same kitchen model, now they also give you ingredients also. So you just go in and cook. What's the advantage of that? You don't have to buy all the ingredients, and because let's say if it's a big service out there, they have all the ingredients they need. You don't need to have to go shop for in different places, bring it together, and then arrange it. They're like, okay, what you want to cook? Let's say just rice. They're going, okay, rice. You need water. Just we'll give it to you. We are already giving all the utensils, and then that's it. So basically, you're going in and cooking, and you're just worrying about the cooking part and your recipe, and you don't have to worry about a lot of other things. Then finally comes software as service, where they are going to do everything. You just have to do small configurations, whatever you want, things like that. But they are even giving you software, and Salesforce is software as a service. As an application, software as a service. So yeah, I would say here is like going into a restaurant. You go in there, you order what you want, you eat, you pay the bill, and come back. So that's it for that's I would say is a major difference is how it's we can divide cloud services as infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. And one thing for specifically for Salesforce is Salesforce as a SaaS, what we call SaaS, software as a service, is a CRM application, and then Salesforce also provides just their platform for various companies to come and build in their own applications. And that's they also have platform as a service. And a lot of times people use Salesforce as when they're talking about Salesforce, it can be platform as a service or a software as a service. But for now, for our intent, for all these training purposes, the Salesforce that we use now is going to be software as a service. Okay. Okay. So coming on to Salesforce administrator, the course is aimed so that you can be a well-qualified Salesforce administrator. So what a Salesforce administrator does, that's very important to cover. So basically, Salesforce administrator is someone who manages and administrates Salesforce in an organization. They are basically people who do the deployments, who do configurations. The configurations here is not your development, it's basically going in, clicking, making small screen changes and things like that. Then user maintenance. So basically, the administrator is going to take care of adding users, removing users, or giving permissions so that people can access more data. Or if somebody is moving to another department, you're going to change that person's access so he sees only that department's data, not the other department's data. So basically, all these things. Okay. And in user maintenance, what is also like you'll have to keep track of how many licenses are there. And if you need more licenses, then you let to know a company that, we're running out of license, we need to buy, things like that. Then reports and dashboards. A lot of times, in big organizations, this does not happen, but usually in the small organizations where they don't have that much resources, usually Salesforce administrator also builds reports and dashboards for them. And this again, there's no development work done. It's all clicking, stitching the data together, and that's it. Then data cleanups. So usually what happens is then a person has messed up some data entry. You as administrator will have rights to go in and correct it, or uh, you'll have to do daily exports or monthly exports. And for example, people are storing too much data in Salesforce, then you'll have to move all that data into probably another database. That's one of the main things actually as Salesforce administrator is, because data, it's all stored on cloud and you're paying for that storage. So instead of that, you're moving all these big files into the local one and then you connect it to a Salesforce. So that's one of the things that actually a Salesforce administrator does, data cleanups. So again, as I said, there is no coding involved. And usually what I usually tell people is, whenever there's something is like, hey, the solution for this is to code in Salesforce, that's where your role ends. You can say, no, I'm a Salesforce administrator. This is where my role ends, and we'll have to talk to the developer. And let's say in case you're continuing in Salesforce, you're the only person out there. They don't have any developers. It happens. So that time you can say, no, this is customization, and we can't do it. So one of the best things is go in. As I said before, there's app exchanges out there. It's like your iPhone or Android app. There are more than 2,500 applications now, I think. And you just go in and search. If it's available, just let the organization know how much it's going to cost, and then you install it in your Salesforce. So that's one of the things that you can do. Okay. Coming into Salesforce admin certification, there are two levels of certification: administrator and advanced administrator. A lot of companies ask for administrator certification, but nowadays they have been asking for advanced administrator. But um, I would say administrator is a good step, and once you've done it, go ahead and do the other one. It's Salesforce certifications are very good in the terms like it's industry wide recognized. And what this course is, it prepares you for the first level of certification, which is admin 201 or Salesforce admin certification. Are there any prerequisites? No. As long as you're ready to pay the money and you're ready to study on your own. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, because there are courses available. But as once you've studied and you're ready, you just go in, pay the money, and you can take the course. There are a lot of centers throughout the Greater Toronto area and throughout the world where you can just go in, finish your exam, and come. You can also take it from home, but I would say home is a very big headache, because they are like people monitoring you, and they will like turn this laptop like this, keep this like that. It's a big headache. They are very particular about the webcams you use, the quality, and they have to always keep your hands in front of the camera. It's a big headache. Just go into the center and finish it and come. It's not big. So how is this course going to help you? Basically, I'm going to this whole course is based on their Salesforce has given the syllabus for their administrator certification. This course is based on that. We are going to follow the same process flow. Okay, they charge $3,000, $4,000 for their courses, but trust me, we are going to almost do the same thing. Another main thing that I differentiate from others Canada IT does is hands-on training. There are a lot of if people are ready to join, then I'll show you how to get hands-on training on Salesforce. It's not, as I said before, it's not just notes, you making notes and by hearting it and all. No, you're going to go in and and add a user. You're going to go in there and add a user in your own environment. And I will also give you modules where I can tell, okay, for next 5 days, these are the 5 modules you're going to cover. you're going to add a user, you're going to change the permissions of a user, you're going to let's say create a new customer, you're going to convert that create a prospect, convert the prospect into a customer, and I'll use, there is always the Salesforce has their own this one, and I'm going to help you use that, and we're going to do that as a team. So in case where you're stuck anywhere, you can message me, I can help you out, and things like that. So it's going to be very hands-on training. It's not at all, this is going to be the most this is the most I'm going to do talking as of the whole course. I think today is the day I'm going to do most of the talking. The rest of it's, a lot of it's going to be focused on hands-on. Okay, so don't worry, it's going to be very interesting, very hands-on. And I know I don't sound well, but my voice is not that great, so you won't be hearing much of it. It's going to be a lot of hands-on training, and people love that, and I'm sure you will all do that. And why certification? If you have decided you want to go into Salesforce, as I said, there's a huge market of Salesforce out there. And if you're in Toronto area, companies are now accepting the idea of cloud, and it's becoming a big, big thing in Toronto. Cloud-based applications, not just Salesforce. There are a lot of out there. And now is the time. I think in last 1 or 2 years, Toronto has been taking off in terms of cloud. People are ready to accept it. Before, people were thinking, should we put it in cloud? Should we not put it in cloud? Now everybody is accepting it. Banks, I work for a fintech startup is based on Salesforce. Banks are ready to put customer data on cloud now. That's how accepting they are. And if people have worked in banking sector, you have to know they're very conservative, especially if it comes to data. They're very, very rigid. They want to make sure that data is very safe, very secure. And even US government is now moving towards cloud. So cloud is a big thing, and it's taking off in GTA in a big way. And trust me, Salesforce is the #1 cloud-based application out there, but there are various others too. And certification based on general research, I don't think I put a reference to this, but certification is, people think you get more than $20,000 extra if you get certified versus a regular admin. If a Salesforce certified administrator, you get 20,000 more than a regular admin. That's a general idea that people think of. Okay. I need to show you a demo, but so this is Salesforce architecture. I'm going to rush through this, come back in the next classes because I want to show you Salesforce as a demo, right? So here is this, you see this black and gray box. This is the platform here where everything that Salesforce is built for, your data, your objects, your database, your application, everything is based on this. On top of it, you have your ecosystem. They have more than, I said, 2,700 partner apps out there. It's almost like you going into your iPhone Apple Store and liking an app, you install it in your iPhone. It's very similar to that. On top of both of this, they have their own modules. It's called sales, service, marketing, community, analytics, app. There's an app called app. Or we call it as modules, and there are a lot more. So these are a little bit more to take for you. And next class, I'm going to dive in detail and explain it. But I just want to say, okay, there is this underlying platform where they built it. On top of it, they have an ecosystem of apps, and then on top of it, to do a complete CRM, they have a lot of modules. Okay, think of it: the gray and black box is your iPhone. It's just your iPhone. On top of it, your apps. So, for example, if you want to play games, they have an app for it, and then on top of it, they built your game center so that you have access to everything together in one place. So that's what it is. And to your right of the screen, there is the APIs. Basically, this is where they have built the APIs so that Salesforce can interact with various other systems out there. Okay. Again, I'm going very fast because I want to show you the Salesforce, and once you see it, I'm sure you'll love the application. Okay. Then the major structure of data in Salesforce. So Salesforce, think of it like your Excel. Okay, let me open an Excel. Just open a blank Excel. Okay. Just making sure you guys are seeing it right. So think this is what your Salesforce is. This tab is your object, what we call as object in Salesforce. And object is a very important concept. We will cover in detail in the next classes, but this is what it is. Your column A, like name, right? Then address. Your columns are basically your fields, phone, email ID. Okay, these are your fields. Okay, then comes what we call as record. Yes, let us say Toronto, Ontario, phone. Okay, email ID. So this is your record. Any row with data is your record, and any column is a field. That's how the Salesforce has been set up. Okay, very simple concept. We will dig into it detail later because I said before, I want to show you Salesforce also. So basically, think of when you look at this one, think of Salesforce. When everybody says of an object and you're new to Salesforce, think of it as a tab in your spreadsheet. Okay, you have your one tab, then basically this is what Salesforce. It has a lot of tabs. Each tab can talk to one another. There's exchange of data. You can set up connections between one another tab, and then you have fields, which are your basically your columns, and then rows, which are your data. Okay. Now I want to go into the fun part. So this is a Salesforce application. Okay. So this is the latest UI of Salesforce. As you see, everything is based on tabs. It's very user friendly, and a lot of people, when they're moving from this old legacy systems like SAP, CRM, or Oracle CM, they love this. They absolutely love it. And only thing I would make sure, like, because I manage integration, I mean implementing Salesforce, is people are trained properly. Okay, and everything is based on browser. It's all browser. This the application is housed somewhere else, and we'll go dig into this detail later. But it's all browser based. As long as you have internet connection, you can access Salesforce from your phone, your iPad, anything. Just log in and you're done. Okay. Then this is your app. This is your global search. So you can search for anything. You know. So this is your reports. Then you see these 9 dots here. This is called the app launcher. So basically, you can define what a person can see in their tabs, then some more if you want to. But we can have a lot more modules inside Salesforce. Look at this. These are all the modules that people can access. You can just search. You know. See. So this is how the basic structure is. And then we have here favorites. People can add your favorite. For example, okay, I'm in sales. Let me just go to services. So let's say I have this account, right? Get Cloudy account, and it's you're working on this account. It's your favorite. You just go in bookmark it. It's just as bookmark it. Then you can what we call as like if you want to immediately right from your screen. If you want to create a new lead opportunity, you can do it from here. Then there is help. There's a lot of Salesforce help out there. Then this is settings for your own settings. So this is admin settings. Then notifications. So here is where, like for example, if somebody has tagged you in something and something has changed somewhere, as soon as you log in, you get your notifications here. There'll be a number like 1, like similar to your iPhone notifications, and you can see it. This is where your settings are. Okay. And as I said before, let us think we're in accounts, and all these terminologies will get used to it. Trust me, within 3 or 4 classes, I'll cover in detail, and it's going to be your bread and butter, accounts, cases, reads, object, all those things we'll cover. So let's go into this. So this is your account object, okay, and this is the data for goat, wranglers, or us, and what we call is their record. Basically, it's their record, right? Like this company's records. You know what? I don't. That's a name for. Let's just get cloudy. So this is when they ask, "Hey, I'm not able to access get cloudy record." This is what they mean. Okay. Then you have related data where there are contacts, opportunity, anything that's related to that account. Okay. Then you have details. Depending on what the object is, basically what this tab is, the details will change. Then you can even have news. So one of the main advantages of CRM is because you're interacting with customers, you can create your own tasks, or you can even tag people, call. You can create your own tags, and if it's integrated to your Outlook, it comes over there. Not just, I mean, you can do any activity you want to do here, it's done. Then you have events. You can have meetings with your, let's say you want to talk to meetings. Meet somebody in that company. Then you can set it up here, and you can track. It syncs with your iPhone, and then it shows up in your iPhone. If you have talked to a person, you can definitely do that. And then, sorry, email. So this is basically you can email right from here. Chatter. So you can tag like your Facebook. This is basically your Facebook and this one setup. You can tag people here. And then you can, so next time when let's say I tag someone as they log in, they'll get notification here. Okay. So if let's say cases, let's take this cases. So see here, it is related. This is the case record. Wait, this is the case number. This whole page that you see here is the record. Okay. So what typically an admin does, they're like, okay, go in, add a user. So you'll go in, you'll go to setup. And this is because it's a little bit development based. Sometimes it's slower. You'll have to have patience. So we'll go in here. And this is very useful. You can just search. You don't have to remember what is there in your left-hand side, like users. So let's say you want to add a new user. You just go in and do it. Okay. Then if you want to say somebody is locked out, they send you a ticket. You just go in and then click reset password. Password gets reset. That's one of the main things that an admin will be doing. Then, so for example, we are here, right? So let's say they're like, okay, we need Praveen to see only organizations in Toronto, and we want Yesh to see only organizations in Vancouver. So those are the things usually the admin is doing. Okay. So what you'll do is you'll go in there, you'll either do profiles or which I'll cover everything in detail. I'm just showing you what you'll be doing. So you'll go in there, let us say, just take any profile. Let's say he's in contract manager, right? You go in, then you'll see the assigned apps. Then you can say which app he has this one to, which one he does not. Then permissions. So these are the things that you will be usually managing day to day. Okay. And a lot of time will be spent here. Then you'll go into, like, for example, is object manager here. You'll go in there, search for cases. Okay, this case. Then they'll say, okay, we need to have a new field called track students. Then you'll create a new field. See, everything is already predefined for you. You don't have to do anything. Okay. Then there's the formula field. Let's take a formula field. Okay, I'm creating a formula field. We'll just say demo class. It automatically populates that also your field name. And I said before, you people asked, do I need coding? And this is the fun part of it. Okay, go in. You can insert operators. You just have to know what it is. Okay, what is this? See, you just add like this. Then you have advanced formulas. They have like help text here. Okay. Put like this. I think let's take something else. So it's almost like if you used Excel, right? And this functionality is like today. Basically, this is what you're doing. Greater than. I can even search. See, now is here, right? So that's it. Then you're going to put description. Then help text if you want. Small things. But I see like you see me typing because I'm more used to it. But if you're initially a new administrator, you don't have to type. You can just use all these things. And because I'm become more well versed with it, and instead of going and searching there, I'll have this syntaxes in my head. I just go in and type it. You guys don't have to. And trust me, see, you can even check syntax. Something is wrong here. Expected parameter operator for. Okay, and it checks syntax. Okay, something. Just use this. Does not exist. So it shows what are the mistakes. If that field is not already existing over there, it will show you. Okay, let's go to cases. Just take a field. Okay. So I think I removed it because I've been playing around. So that's fine. Insert field. So I don't know what field it is. Go in here. You see, I have all the fields here, right? So it was closed date instead of closed date. So what happens now? I can go and check in. Where is that's not okay. I think I changed something when I was preparing for my class. Oh, understood. So see here, I'm a little bit because this is where as an admin will be thinking, okay, what needs to be done and all these things. Let's put like this. Okay, then you go in, click next, and it's done. Okay. You have a lot of text in there. You just enter it. I'm just trying to see. Looks like I changed something, but that's fine. But I said before, you can go in. Everything is right here. You can just click through, and you don't have to code anything. You just have to. Everything is click through, right? You're not doing any coding or anything. Okay. So for example, let's say they want to connect case and account. So you just get to case, you see it's connected to account. Anytime you see this greater than symbol, that means it's an object and there are more fields available. So you go in, so you can keep connecting to one by one. And in case you're not able to find it, that means those two objects are not related. You can tell to the person like, no, it's not related. We are not able to do it. And then you can talk to the developer, see how it's get connected, work with them and make it connected. Okay. Any questions? I just wanted to get you a feel of it. Don't get bogged down by any of the terminologies that you see here, like accounts, contacts. We will go into detail on each and everything. I'll explain in detail what it is, how we're going to convert, and show it to you. Um, and I'm sure you'll also do it hands-on along with me, or afterwards when you go home. Sorry, once this class is done, you have free time, you can do it. And these are all the modules out there that's there in this organization. So you'll also have something like this on your own. Once you start this class, you're going to go in, for example, go to sales, right? You start a lead. Lead is someone you have not done business with, right? Go in here. You can do all this once. Like in the next class, I'm going to show you how to do all this, how to get your own login and all those things, right? You will be able to click it. Trust me, you're going to do everything. So we're taking a lead, Chantal Smith. He's related to the company Get Cloudy Smith. So lead is one you don't have done business with. Then you're going to complete it and see we can create a new account. Demo Smith wanted to create an opportunity. There you go. So all these things that you see here, you guys will be able to do it on your own. Trust me. Okay, then I go search for Canada IT. And today's demo class, we're running a little bit behind our time, so I'm hurrying up. But next class, we're going to do everything in detail. So see, created an account called Canada IT, have a contact, and now we can work it. You're going to do all this on your own. Okay. See, it stores what you have done. Then let us say they're asking like, I need a new field, right? I don't want to do formula field. It's too simple one. New. It's too a simple one this time. Text, right? Get the length 20. These are all these things that we'll cover later. Okay, don't worry. See, but everyone, this is all the settings where you're going to say, okay, these are the profiles that can see this field. So this is where I'm saying I'm just doing default settings visible to everyone. This one I don't want to even explain what we're doing right now. In later classes you're going to. So I don't want to talk about things and get it. Okay. So let us see if it shows up here. So this is basically how a day-to-day administrator is. They'll come to you and say, hey, I need this field to be added. So you're going to see whether the field is visible. Then you're going to go back. This is where your headache is, right? Like, did I add it here? Did I do it there? Then you go in here. Okay, it says Okay. So this is where your role as an administrator is coming. Like, why is it not showing up? Now you'll have to troubleshoot it. You'll have to do all these things. It's good. I showed you a demo. Like, this is how basically your day-to-day activity is going to be. Also, like, you have all your steps. Now you're going to troubleshoot and what happened, where it is, and there are a lot of tools to help you do this. So don't worry. I don't want to show you. I don't want to go into details on how to troubleshoot. It's very easy, but I have to get into concepts. So I want to escape all that. In next 3 4 classes, I will not only show you how to do it, but also during this, I will show you all the tools that I use, to help me troubleshoot. I'll show you day-to-day scenarios of all the issues that we face. This is one of the things, we added the field, we added it into the layouts, but still not showing. So you'll have to research now, like why it is happening, what are the things that might be causing for it not to not show up, and that's exactly what an administrator does day to day. That's actually this is a very good example, I would say, of your day to day work. Okay. Any questions before we are, I would say, call it for a day?
So,